Let's talk about blessing. So I don't usually like to use sports metaphors in business context because it doesn't fit for everybody. But I don't have a better one than the idea of a punch, and the power of a punch is really predicated on how good a plant foot and position you can push from to push force through your body to that punch. You can't really land a strong punch unless you've got a good plant. Blessing is sort of like that. And so there are a lot of things we can like and say good things about in the world, but that's not the same thing as blessing them in a way that actually produces life. Blessing comes from our identity. In the end, I believe our identity is who we are in Christ and what that identity prepares us to be in the world, what work we have to do because of who and whose we are. Until we know who and whose we are, we can't deliver nearly the sort of blessing punch that we can after we know. Additionally, I think that there are layers of that identity that show up, so I can know that I am a child of God and I can be a beloved, and there's an ability to bless certain things within that. But until I am also recognized as a leader, until I have a position in somebody else's world where the blessing that I can offer them matters, or the thing, the vision that I can contribute and point to matters, there's a governor on the blessing I can deliver. So I think the most potent blessing ends up being me abiding in Christ in the role that and work for which I've been prepared, and then also well aligned in the life of the person who I'm there to bless, or the situation I'm there to point forward, and a focus on the vision and the outcome so that I'm in no way competing with what belongs to God. So if I am a clean conduit from one place to Him without setting myself up as any sort of stopping point, where I don't have to be the purveyor, keeper, gatekeeper type keeper, or anything other than an usher's sweeping hand gesture from here to there, and my whole deal is to help somebody get from one place to the next, and I'm not going to engage them in all of their head trash, but I'm going to point them to the, if I'm an usher and it's a theater, I'm there to get them to their seat. How they get there is really up to them, but my job is to point out where the seat is so that they can encounter the one who has produced the production, that they're there and that seat is there for them to sit in. So blessing in that sense comes from identity, it comes from role, and those two things are different. It's real easy. My wife needs me to play a role, and she will give me feedback about how I'm doing on the role. That's not the same thing as who I am. It's who I am to her. And when I am that to her, I can bless her in meaningful ways. When I am focused in my marriage on my identity, as opposed to my role with her, things get messier. My job's to be her husband and to be father to our children. When I'm at work and I'm a boss or a leader, my job's to be that and to point somebody to a thing. All of the source of identity comes from my connection with God. So I think a centurion understands that they're going to go to God on behalf of the person they lead or the people they lead to pursue a vision for those people, and they're able to bless by means of that envisioned or revealed thing. And the more that they connect with the Lord to do that, and then the more they play the role effectively and cleanly, as opposed to with a religious agenda, which really gets in the way for a lot of people. If you show up with a fish on the back of your car and you're wearing your church t-shirt and anything comes out of you sideways or about how cool you are, you're really getting in the way of the ability to land the punch that blesses. So clarity of identity and clarity of role and clarity of vision are critical, and they work together. Otherwise, we end up with various layers of domination, and we end up creating idols and impediments to the agenda of the Lord to pursue and love and bless the people we lead.